20 years ago, the first successful clones of dinosaurs, and other extinct animals, were created. 10 years later, the program to rewild the no longer extinct animals was introduced. Initially, it was a success, but within 5 years, many species had overrun woodlands, farmlands, and even cities. However, with public opinion firmly against killing them, and with the risks, red tape, and costs involved in catching and relocating them proving prohibitive to many urban and rural areas were instead just walled off, with the dinosaurs contained within. Charitable foundations have endeavored to source funding to keep the animals healthy, provide food to ensure optimal nutrition and reduce predation, and to keep the environments clean and secure. They have also provided CCTV and drone cameras to monitor the animals' well-being. However, donations have not kept up with the huge costs, and other funding streams have been needed. An unlikely source is Extreme Adventures, a group dedicated to providing exciting, but risky, activities to the rich. Although there was reluctance to accept their money, eventually there was no other option, and the first thrill seekers will be entering Prehistoric City Hailston very soon, and paying handsomely for the privilege. Before they do, the following videos, gained from the CCTV and drone cameras, will document how the dinosaurs have made our abandoned cities their homes, and so far, lived healthy and safe lives. The first dinosaur we'll look at is the Tyrannosaurus rex. T-Rexes are one of the largest land carnivores that have ever lived, and definitely the largest in Hailston. The pair in the city pose the biggest threat to the other animals, and many other species adapt their behavior to avoid them, and reduce the risk of them ending up a meal. However, that doesn't mean the T-Rexes aren't often cautious themselves, and they can be spooked, both by the behavior of the other animals, and also by seemingly innocuous items in the city, especially the drones. The Rexes, a male and a female, nest each night in the allotments. They tend to sleep throughout the night, exploring the city during the day, although there are times when they remain out after dark, which can catch out some of the other species who restrict their own explorations for nighttime, specifically to avoid the large predators. After waking, they follow a consistent routine. First, they alert the rest of the city to their imminent arrival by roaring, and next, they leave the allotments, navigating the city by a set route that they always follow. One morning, we recorded their journey around the city, following them with our drones. They leave the allotments at the rear, and then follow the road past the pub, heading towards the town hall. During this journey, you'll notice that one will often pause, to look out both for prey and risks, and that they regularly vocalize, possibly communicating between themselves, or to warn off would-be competitors. What you may notice here is that the Rexes avoid going through old manor woods. The woods are home to Smilodons, the saber-toothed cats. Although the Rexes are much bigger and more powerful, they appear to be fearful of entering the woods, even though they show no fear of the cats when outside of the wooded area. The reason for this is not clear, and it is one of the many interesting behaviors the animals in Prehistoric City have shown us. After taking the long route around the woods, the T-Rexes then pass the railway station, before entering the north of the city via the tunnel. You may also notice that the city streets are empty of other dinosaurs at this time. Each of the other species, both know that the Rexes follow this morning routine, and have their own small areas of the city where they spend most of their day, relatively safe from the Rexes. At this point, the pair are becoming increasingly irritated by the drones following them for so long, something we don't normally do for this very reason. They begin to hang back, and show signs of irritation in their movements and roaring. We, therefore, leave them, sending a drone ahead to land on the ground to film them more discreetly. We pick them up again as they enter the grounds of the Lido. This is a significant moment as they are entering the territory of another dinosaur. That dinosaur is the Brachiosaurus, who, as the T-Rexes pose little threat to them, is quite happy to tolerate their presence, although, if they step out of line the Brachiosaurus will let them know, which we'll see more of later in the video. From here, the Rexes exit the Lido through a gap in the broken fence, and head along the wooded path leading them to the football stadium. The stadium is home to the mammoths, which would be a target prey for the Tyrannosaurus, except that their numbers increase risk, and the Rexes struggle to fit through the entrance to the pitch where the mammoths tend to congregate. However, we have captured aggressive interactions between the dinosaurs and mammals, which you can see when we look at the mammoths in greater detail later in the video. The Rexes then head past the restaurant to a key destination of their city circuit, a place they always stop at, sometimes for just a few minutes, sometimes for an hour or two. This is the site of the tower blocks, where the Triceratops spend most of their day. They are, however, a very risky prey species, especially when in a group, but the Rexes always check them out, possibly hoping to find one by itself, which would make a more feasible and safer target. However, the Triceratops appear to know this, and rarely if ever leave a member of their family group isolated. Although of a similar size to the largest of modern big cats, Smilodons, or saber-toothed cats, are one of the smallest inhabitants of Prehistoric City. However, they have made their home in Old Manor Woods, where they spend most of their day. As previously shown, not even the Rexes enter the woods, a reluctance that all the other dinosaurs share. It's unclear why such a comparatively small animal can defend their territory so effectively, although the natural world has many examples of aggressive smaller animals being able to discourage larger predators from attacking. That being said, the Smilodons spend most of the daylight hours in the woods. In common with many of the other species, they avoid the rest of the city during daylight when the Rexes are out on patrol. As night falls, they prepare to leave the woods, calling to each other to ensure they leave as a group. However, occasionally one or more of the Rexes will still be out, and it's on these occasions we get a glimpse of the Smilodons' defiance when the larger animals approach their territory. Once the tyrannosaurs are nesting and asleep in the allotments, the smilodons are adept, like many types of cats, at quietly traversing the city without disturbing them. Their main goal in leaving the woods at night is to reach the pond and Allerton Gardens, where they spend a long time in and around the water, seemingly oblivious to the proximity of the Rex's nest. They also like to explore the stadium, which, while the mammoths have size and number to their advantage, still worries the larger mammals, probably due to them having younger members in their family group. If the smilodons push their luck, the mammoths will chase them off aggressively. The smilodons also enjoy climbing onto some of the taller buildings in the city. None of the other animals are able to do this, so it not only gives them a good view of their environment, but is also a safe place for the cats, before they return to Old Manor Woods before dawn. In the shadows of Lowry Towers, is the home of the 5 triceratops that live in Prehistoric City. They are fiercely territorial of this small part of Hailston, and will even defend it against the Tyrannosauruses, as we'll see later. They are intelligent enough to know that, along with their 3 horns, their strength lies in numbers, and as a result, they stick closely together. During the day, they graze, nap, and socialize together, while regularly checking the entrances for potential threats. When they find one, like this lone T-Rex, they will stand their ground until they feel the intruder is no longer a risk. When night falls and the Rexes have taken to their nest, the Triceratops leave their territory, cautiously and as a close group. Their destination is the town hall, more specifically, the garden and pond at its rear. Here they spend an hour or so most nights, although they are usually careful to return to Lowry Towers before dawn. On the rare occasions that they stay out of their territory into daytime, the Triceratops will often join the mammoths in the football stadium, which provides them sanctuary from the large predators. The mammoths and Triceratops coexist quite happily. However, if there is any conflict, the mammoths are usually first to back down. The Camarasaurus is one of the largest dinosaurs in Prehistoric City, although it is dwarfed by another member of the sauropod family, the Brachiosaurus, which we'll meet later. It is a peaceful herbivore that lives mostly in and around the canal, not, as was thought in the past, because sauropods spend time in water to support their weight, but because the canal gives them access to the vegetation they eat, both beside the water and in it. It also keeps them out of easy reach of the T-Rexes, although their size would make them a complicated prey to catch and eat anyway. When not in the water, the Camarasaurus tends to rest and sleep on the canal side by the basin. During the day, however, they spend most of their time at the other end of the canal, where there is plentiful amounts of vegetation for them to graze on. They eat different types of leaves, roots, and fruit, but often have to stretch to their tallest to reach their favorite berries. The T-Rexes, as they are prone to do, will often pester them, although not with much apparent confidence in being able to predate successfully. The Camarasaurus responds by showing off its full size, and dismisses the Rex with a snort. They occasionally try to graze in the Triceratops' territory. However, the three-horned dinosaurs rebuff their attempts and deny them access. It's a long, almost gentle standoff, but eventually the Camarasaurus will give in. As you have already seen, the mammothus, or mammoth, lives mainly in the football stadium, which provides them with ample grazing and refuge from large predators. They live in a large family group, led by the matriarch. Although they will back down in individual challenges, they will fiercely defend the herd, especially the younger ones. The small gates that provide access to the pitch make it difficult for the larger animals to enter their domain. As a herd, once it becomes dark, the mammoths make a nightly pilgrimage to the Lido. They take their time, ensuring that they stick together, and the younger ones are protected. The older mammoths continually pause, and encourage the slower members of the herd to keep up. Once there, they relax a little, but are always vigilant. They spend time exploring the grounds, before grazing, and entering the water. They spend much of the night there, before returning to the stadium before dawn. As we have previously shown, the T-Rexes do not always return to their nest when darkness falls, which can occasionally catch out unwary animals. As we have captured in this footage, even the usually vigilant mammoths can be caught by surprise. This was a dangerous moment, although the mammoth luckily managed to reach the stadium in time. The Brachiosauruses are the largest inhabitants of Prehistoric City. Although they have little to fear from the other animals, they stay in the Lido grounds, probably as it has everything they need: vegetation, water, and space. They happily share their environment with many other species who visit them, whether they're mammoths, triceratops, or even smilodons, who are probably more at risk of being accidentally trampled by the immense sauropods. They are even unbothered by the Tyrannosaur's regular appearances, as long as the smaller dinosaurs know when to give way. If not, the Brachiosauruses confidently assert who's boss. Finally, on to some of the most interesting behavior captured in Prehistoric City. This male and female appear to be displaying courtship behavior, similar to some modern-day birds, although no breeding has yet been witnessed in the city. All we know for sure is that there's still much we have to learn about these fascinating creatures. And that brings to an end part 1 of our look inside the walls of Prehistoric City Hailston. As you will have seen, the animals have adapted well to an environment that is very foreign to them. They've adopted their own territories and developed behaviors to enable them to live together in a mostly peaceful way. It remains to be seen how the human visitors will affect the dynamics, and how the risks are managed for both humans and prehistoric animals alike. Filming will continue with the drones and CCTV over the coming months, and we hope you'll tune in when we bring you the results, in part 2 of Prehistoric City Hailston, coming soon.